Hey, what's shaking? What's baking? Welcome to Hero City Toy Reviews. Today we are going to look at the NECA Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason Voorhees action figure. The body count continues. Of course, we're all familiar with Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movie series. There's been so many iterations, so many parts. It's hard to keep track of them all. Of course, part 2 was released in 1981. This figure here, my NECA, was released in July of 2018. In part 2 takes place 5 years after the first film. A new group of camp counselors arrive near Camp Crystal Lake, which is closed. Jason Voorhees, now fully grown and living in the woods, begins killing them to avenge his mother's death, Pamela Voorhees, where he wears a sack over his head and uses various weapons. Let's have a look at the box. So some nice old school artwork here from the movie with his shape of him holding the axe, and then of course the scene in the lake there. Friday the 13th part 2 there. The body count continues. That's the top of the box. One side there. It's got him wearing the sack over his head. And there as well. Of course, that's the bottom. And here a little shrine to his mom. That's her, Pamela's head there. Miss Voorhees is dead, and Camp Crystal Lake is shut down. But a camp next to the infamous place is stalked by an unknown assailant. And of course, no other than Jason Voorhees himself. There he is there, holding the pickaxe and the campfire. You can see him in the box there with all his cool stuff. Let's get him open and have a closer look. And here he is out of the box with all his accessories. And in typical NECA fashion, if you take out the insert from the box, you can kind of use this as a background to display your figure. I know it's difficult to tell here, but it's just basically dark forest, dark woods. I don't know how good the figure would look in there, but you can technically use it for that. All right, let's get him out of the box here. All right, there he is, all out of the box. We'll start with the accessories first. Let's have a nice look at the campfire it comes with. Very nicely detailed with the rocks around it and the wood in between. And of course, the flames. So you just got to find a way to kind of prop this on here. See whichever way. There you go. Look at that. So that's a nice campfire right there. Of course, classic campfire. Let's look at the two heads, shall we? So of course, that's his mom, Pamela. Severed head. You can see the detail on the neck area there is very cool and horrific at the same time. And there's her head with the gray hair, looking like a zombie, of course. And Jason himself comes with an alternate head sculpt, which you do see at the end of the movie, I believe. You see his regular head, so you can see how messed up his face and head is, missing his hair all there, all banged up and bruised, with his one eye all messed up. So you can display him like this as well, or the way he stands now with the sack over his head. Comes with decent accessories, quite a few. We'll start with a big spear here. So that's quite long. You can see there next to the figure, it's taller than the figure by a little bit. So quite a long spear there. Of course, the classic machete. With a nice handle there. And looking all bloody and stuff. Very nice machete there. The classic pitchfork, of course. Also very cool. We have no serial killer is complete without his kitchen butcher knife, I guess. there, also very nice. And the pitchfork, all bloodied as well on one end. And the handle, I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, the handle's all bloody as well. And it's got some nice detailing here, like it's used on the ends. You can tell the discoloration to make it look like it's used is very cool. Nice little detail. Let's get on to the figure himself. Let's have a closer look at Jason. So you can see the mask is kind of nice, just with the one eye hole. You can see that. Nicely tied around his neck, because of course Jason doesn't use his iconic hockey mask until part 3, which was released in 1982. So in part 2 here, it's basically the first time we see him. I think part 1 was mostly his mom, and he doesn't have his identity, I guess, yet, and his mask that doesn't come until part 3. So the head, let's move it around. Not too much movement on the head, up or down. Just very little. I guess it's because of the way the mask, the head sculpt with the bag on it, the hoodie on it, doesn't allow for much movement. Let's bend at the elbows. That's all he goes. Arms up that way, and just a little bend there. Not too much movement. Otherwise, on the waist, doesn't move at all. Just there with his legs. As far as the leg goes, the legs don't go forward at all as well. That's just the one does, but not the second one. Knees, only a little bit as well. So not too much articulation on this guy. The feet, up and down. That turns. Not crazy articulation on this, not too much, but I guess it's good enough. It's more to just pose him with a weapon in his hand, I guess, or however you like him. He stands okay, stands well on his own, just like that. Here he is with a couple accessories in his hand, so you can see the pickaxe on one and the butcher knife on the other. Now I can see some of these being a little more difficult, like the pitchfork. I don't know how I would get him in there. I haven't really tried, but you could probably do it. He doesn't come with any extra hands or anything, so you'd have to really play around and be careful not to break his thumb. I mean, there's not much space between the thumb and the hand there. You'd really have to squeeze this in there somehow. You'd have to be careful not to break the thumb off. Even the knife wasn't very easy to get on there. Spear should fit fine. It's very thin, just probably goes right in. But overall, great figure, especially if you're a horror collector or specifically a Friday the 13th Jason collector. I recommend it. Wish the articulation was a little bit better. So not great articulation, but I mean, to display him in your Friday the 13th display is great. Good quality, feels good. They got some nice weight to it. Sculpting is very good, especially on the extra head sculpts. Looks very nice. Overall, good figure. Recommend it. Okay, guys, if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, hit that bell. The channel is brand new. Appreciate any kind of love you can leave. It really means a lot to me. Keeps me going, keeps me motivated to do more videos. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this figure or any other figures you want to see in the future on the channel. Any feedback is very welcome and appreciated. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.